Hello there, my name is Limelycan, and this is a Nintendo Switch. And today I'm going to be surviving 100 days in Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition, where the lag is plentiful, mob caps are painfully low, and the clunkiness is up. Let us begin. I began the first day like any other, looting my chest, making some stone tools, and my way through the mountain. I had found a forest and decided to my way through some trees. I got the delicious fish achievement and continued to wander around through the night until I found a place to shelter myself. On day 2, I continued my trek, exploring and making precarious jumps. A skeleton tried to shoot me and I dodged like I'm Neo until I eventually got shot in the head. So I raided a village for all it had, the books and the food. I even found a desert temple, but was sorely disappointed by the trash loot. I left and found a mushroom biome. I channeled my inner fun guy and buried myself into the ground like a mushroom. I left that place on the morning of day 3 to find a ravine with a mineshaft and explored to find our very first diamond! I found a grassy knoll that I wanted to terraform. So I spent the rest of the day flattening out hills and filling in crevices, rivers, and anything else that stood in my way of construction of a nice villa. I began construction of the walls on day 4 and punched out the holes for the windows and the doors, as well as hollowed out the ground to fill in with cobblestone. I continued work on the house for the better part of days 5 and 6, filling in the ceiling, installing lights, and working on a roof which I made out of spruce. I don't actually like any other wood than oak, but I wanted to experiment this playthrough. Anyways, I collected some sand and put in some planter pots and windows. Now my villa was about 80% done, but there was still some exterior decorating I could do. Day 7, I befriended my first pair of wolves, and don't get attached because I only friended them for the achievement. I also began construction of a mineshaft just northeast of my house into a mountain that I had found. I kept digging on day 8, eventually hitting Y level 13. I didn't go any lower than that as I would have hit lava. I also began crafting some more tools to use and mined out the surrounding ores in the cave nearby. I got blown up on the morning of day 9. What a way to start your morning. And I just waited for my ores to smelt. After smelting, I had enough to make a full set of iron armor. I later returned to the mine to prepare it to install some spruce stairs so I wouldn't have to jump on every block. And here I am, day 10, installing those very stairs. I didn't have enough, but I did go strip mining and found more diamonds. I had enough to craft a pickaxe, a sword, and a jukebox that I'm sure I'll eventually get to use. I returned again to the mine on day 11 to get some obsidian to finally make an enchantment table. At least I had a good use for those books I stole from those librarians earlier. I had enough leftover obsidian to make a nether portal, and went in to get the first nether achievement, Return to Sender, which was actually surprisingly easy. Day 12 I got down to creating some farms, sugarcane and wheat farms, as well as lighting up the surrounding area of my base. Day 13 was full of chores, harvesting wheat and replanting it in the same plot. I also found a cow, and I lured him back to my base in a little spruce fence entrapment. While exploring the mountains west, I had found a baby zombie jockey on a cow, and even when I killed him, the cow never stopped spinning, so I took on the arduous task of taking him all the way back to the base with the first cow. Day 14, I actually got down to installing the rest of the spruce steps and mined out some more diamonds. On day 15, I began construction on a decorative entrance into the mineshaft, as I thought a hole in a mountain was lacking in aesthetics. Also managed to lure 2 sheep to the house and breed them together. After crafting the diamond boots, I continued on the monster hunt throughout the night, slaying monsters left and right, and I got blown up. After taking the walk of shame back to where my stuff was, I began to toil away in the mines. I surfaced briefly on day 18 only to return and toil away once more. Day 19, got blown up again. On the bright side, I spent day 20 getting diamonds and breeding together my animals. By the end of the day, I had also obtained the chestful of cobblestone achievement. Day 21, I began construction on a mob grinder by putting down hoppers and chests and died in the process at least 3 times. I used up a lot of cobblestone on this build, and would you believe it, I never ended up actually using it. I got the design wrong at least 3 times and wasted 10 days of this playthrough on it. I was shot by my own skeletons and had to retrieve my loot, and then I had to cap off these water segments that, as you noticed, are too close to the edges of the platforms. It was also at this time that I discovered the limits of the Nintendo Switch and the very small mob cap, so you know what that means? I grieved and spent the rest of day 29 fishing. I was so sad I fished all of day 30 as well. I hope you like footage of me trying to fix my stupid mob grinder, cause here you are, another day of footage wasted. Took me a whole day just to cover that thing up with spruce planks. I went into the nether to get some glowstone, and was shot by a ghast and threw off the face of the f***ing planet. Day 32, I went to retrieve my loot, tried to get more by going into the nether fortress, got withered, and sniped by a skeleton. I tried to get my stuff back again, but my only entrance was blocked by these blazes who absolutely fried me. Did manage to get in, I tried to heal and died again, and again. So by this point, I was already sick of this and switched the game to peaceful, and finally got my stuff back on day 33, and switched it back on day 34. Then I started brewing some potions and got the local brewery achievement. Now that I had alchemy at my disposal, I could finally show those blazes who was boss, and even got the overkill achievement by dealing 9 hearts of damage. Unfortunately, when I tried to leave, a ghast extinguished my portal, and I died. So I went to go get my stuff and get some soul sand. Once I had returned, I made a little plot to plant my nether wart. Day 36, I started farming blazes again, but since the Nintendo Switch mob cap is so low, I had to disable the other blaze spawners before mine would work efficiently. Before I could do that, I got sneak attacked by a wither skeleton. When I returned, I did eventually find the other blaze spawner though. Day 37, I had befriended a white horse and put some gold horse armor on him. I also found a zombie villager and lured him back home. Unfortunately, I did not have any weakness potions, so I needed brown mushrooms for fermented spider eyes. I had also forgotten the recipe, so by that time he had despawned. But I did get the change of sheets achievement, so I guess everything's okay in the world. Day 39, I journeyed into the jungle and also befriended a little parrot friend. I didn't have a name for him, but I just wanted one. I also got another achievement, a taste of your own medicine by poisoning a witch. For 3 days in a row, I hunted Enderman all night, and guess what? I got 0 Ender Pearls. I had killed a total of 10 Endermen and got 0 pearls. For some reason, my luck was so abysmal that I couldn't get a single drop out of these guys. Even in the nether, where I had more space to hunt them, I still got nothing. I had 3 Eyes of Ender to my name and decided to locate the portal. Unfortunately, they all broke when I tried to use them. So I guess we'll have to give up on that for now. I spent all of day 44 hunting Endermen in a hole in the nether, and guess what? I got nothing! Again! I discovered the problem. Every time I would try to hunt them, they would fall into the lava, and I would get nothing. Day 45, I finally got a single pearl out of this guy in the morning, and decided to do some chores while I was at it. Hey look, another zombie villager. I hope nothing inconvenient happens. Well, I tried to trap him in, and he broke my leggings. Then, my dog tried to sick on him. So, you know what I had to do? I had to put him down! I was very fed up, so I made maps and decided to start a map room. Day 46, I found a zombie villager and finally cured him, but by the morning of day 47, when he had turned, I checked his inventory and discovered he was nothing more than a useless fisherman, so I left him behind and embarked on a week-long journey to fill out my maps. Oh, I bid farewell to the port and the land, and I paddle away from brave England's white sands to search for my long ago forgotten friends, to search for the place I hear all sailors end. As the souls of the dead fill the space of my mind, I'll search without sleeping till peace I can find. I fear not the weather, I fear not the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me, when their bones in the ocean forever will be. I'll take a course to the night, to a place I once knew, to a place where my hope died along with my crew. So I swallow my grief and face life's final test, to find promise of peace and the solace of rest. As the songs of the dead fill the space of my ears, their laughter like children, their beckoning cheers, my heart longs to join them, sing songs of the sea. I remember the fallen, do they think of me, when their bones in the ocean forever will be. I returned home on day 54 to hang up the portraits of my maps and discovered that my mob farm was actually too high a drop for the mob, so I had to actually decrease the height. By nightfall, I was back in the boat and mapping out more of my world. On day 55, I had finished the northernmost portion of the map. On day 56, I was trying to duplicate items with a trick that was discovered in 1.12, but it was patched in the console editions. I had also tried the trick where you quit out of the game after you break a block, But on the Nintendo Switch version, this was patched to, and I lost a block of diamonds. That'll teach me not to cheat. Instead, I found another method. By spamming nuggets and ingots, you can craft an infinite amount of iron or gold. Day 57, I was back in the mines and mined out 2 emeralds and got some nice diamonds. I spent all of day 58 farming various nether resources like magma cream and wither skeletons. By day 59, I had also found the bedrock wall of the nether, but died. So guess what I was doing for the rest of the night? I even hunted an enderman and managed to get another pearl. Day 60 was the day I stopped procrastinating and actually filled in the roof of my house, which up to this point was actually just a hollow staircase. I also wrangled another zombie villager, but again was short on supplies, and when I tried to get more, I died. I tried to return on day 61 to get my stuff back. It was all gone. It had been blown up by the ghast. So guess what I was doing? Instead of venturing into the nether for brown mushrooms, I had decided to look for a giant brown mushroom tree, and I did find one after a whole day had passed, and guess how many I had gotten from mining out a whole tree? A measly 16. I was actually kind of lost by day 62. I had ran around for a while and could not find my bearings. I was subsisting off of any raw meat I could find off any animal, and eventually did make it home. Day 63, I spent the day making dyes to get the Rainbow Collection achievement by getting one of each color of every wool, and I did. I also got right back into alchemy, making weakness potions, just in case I wanted to cure another villager. On day 64, I discovered once again the limitations of the Nintendo Switch, as the mob cap kept getting pushed and my spawner spawned nothing. The only solution would be to enclose the spawner completely to prevent leakage of mobs. But for now, that could wait. Instead, I decided to start on a tunnel around my portal to protect it. On the night of day 65, I was hunting endermen and got nothing again, like usual. Day 66, I was crafting torches and lighting up the immediate area around so I could have less mob spawning, and collected floof. I also got the tie-dye outfit achievement for dyeing all pieces of leather armor. I began the morning of day 67 by getting shot by the same chainmail skeleton at least 3 times, so that's wonderful. I also journeyed into the caves to try to light them up, and nearly got blown up. I also added carpet to my mob spawner in an attempt to de-spiderfy it. Day 68, I killed off all of my cows and fused together the sheep farms into one big farm, and got some jungle wood for charcoaling. I also built a nice little bridge across the canal on the west side of my property so I wouldn't have to jump across the water with my horses. And propped up some signs to give the base some personality. Day 69, me and my trusty steed went out to fill out more of my world map. Unfortunately, he is not a professional swimmer, so I had to leave him behind and hoof it out on foot. Day 70, I had tamed a slightly faster horse, so I had finished the map and returned home. And on day 71, I collected more floof and explored more map, but discovered that horses can't go across oceans, so I had to abandon the map making project, at least for now. Day 72, I put more carpet in the mob spawner and wanted to hunt some endermen, but they didn't even have the decency to spawn, so instead I tended to my crops of alternating wheat and beetroot seeds. On day 73, I was mining quartz as an alternative to combat in terms of gaining XP, but then all of a sudden I was killed in a massive fire by a ghast. I also hunted some endermen, and of course he dropped nothing. Day 74, I was minding my business, constructing the tunnel going towards the Nether Fortress, when I was assaulted by a ghast. Needless to say, I did end up switching the game to peaceful mode to continue building the tunnel uninterrupted. I eventually did make it to the blaze spawner and encased it in a small stone box, and put a roof over the tunnel so that I wouldn't be seen. I also tested it out just to see if it worked, and it did, so I was very happy with that. On day 76, I went to brew potions and farm some XP at the blaze farms, as they actually give quite a bit, and all was going well until I got cornered by a wither and shot by a skeleton. Again. Day 77, I spent my time experimenting with enchantment books and generating more experience at the blaze farm. Day 78, still farming XP at the blaze farm. Once I had reached level 30, I got a Bane of Arthropods 4 looting 2 Iron Sword, which wasn't all that good, but I'll take what I can get. Day 79, I was testing out the drop rate on this looting sword, as apparently with every level of looting you get a 1% increase in drop rates. Now, on an enderman with a 50-50 drop rate, it might not seem like a lot, but actually this made a difference as they dropped ender pearls far more often. It was pouring really hard on day 80, so I just fished in the small pond west of my base. Continued to do so even into day 81, and didn't get much, but I journeyed into the nearby flower garden to collect rose bushes to do some exterior decorating on my base, sprucing up the buildings by putting red flowers and encapsulating my nether portal in an andesite box with a sign to go with it. And another one on the other end of the portal. Once night had fallen, I had gone back to the usual routine of hunting endermen until I got at least 20 pearls. Day 82 I spent in the mines looking for more diamonds, and I didn't find much, but on day 83 I employed a new method of mining by going 2 blocks forward and then digging out in branches 5 blocks deep. And I did eventually get some diamonds, totaling to about 18 at the end of the day. Day 84 I changed my skin to this Viking skin because I thought it looked cool, and continued hunting endermen. By day 85 I was fully kitted out and was pretty much ready to find the ender dragon, but I had to do a couple of things first, namely enchanting my armor some more and generating more experience points at the Blaze farm. On day 86 I logged into my sister's account and threw myself diamonds to give the Diamonds to You achievement, which you can only get in multiplayer. I spent the rest of the day fishing in hopes of getting some rare loot. I didn't actually get much on that first day, but by the next day I had gotten a Lure 3, Unbreaking 3, and Luck of the Sea 3 mending fishing rod. Day 88 I drank some fire resistance potions and continued to fight these floating head hot fry looking motherfuckers. Day 89 I had finally finished floofing up my mob spawner, and into the night I hunted more endermen. I actually got quite a few drops. I got 6 that night, which was really cool. For some reason I had neglected to get the Archer achievement, so there you go. By day 90, I was ready. I started off the day by planting and recultivating my potatoes to take with me on the long and dangerous journey across the world to find the end portal frame. I made good progress, sailing across the seas and scaling mountains. Eventually, I did find it on day 91. When I threw another Eye of Ender and it changed directions, I knew I was on the right track. So I began by digging straight down into the earth. I was finding mineshaft after mineshaft, but eventually I did come across the portal room. Unfortunately for me, I had lost a couple of Eyes of Ender along the way. I got 2 extra pearls from the chest nearby, but I still needed to go back home to ensure I had enough to fill out the portal. On day 92, I had tunneled my way back up to the surface and built a pillar to keep track of where the portal was. This was all an exercise in futility, as quickly I had forgotten which direction I had even come from. I erected pillars pointing in the direction of the portal, and I still got lost. It actually took me 3 extra days to get materials to make a compass to have even a slight sense of direction. Even with the compass, my smooth brain still couldn't figure out what direction I was going, and I didn't get home until the morning of day 95. After that vat of vexation was over, I had returned home, made more Eyes of Ender, and embarked on a voyage all the way back to the end portal frame. This time, not getting turned around, as I had torches with me to mark the direction I was going. Once the final 2 eyes were placed and the loudest sound I have ever heard a Nintendo Switch make was played, I made a dramatic entrance into the end portal to fight the Ender Dragon. I began, as every fight does, taking out the end crystals with a bow and arrow, and I was very impressed with my aim because I had not played with a controller up to this point since like 7 years ago. So it was quite pleasant for me to make these shots, usually on the first try. 2 of the end crystals were sheltered in boxes, so I had to build up to get to them. I enclosed myself in a little pillar and built all the way up to eventually break the cage. I did get shot with fireballs sometimes, but you know what, we prevail. Once all the end crystals were gone, I tried to use a bed to deal damage and died. So I had to go all the way back to the portal to get my stuff back, but you know what? We still prevail because after drinking some strength potions and striking at the Ender Dragon's neck, the dragon was vanquished and erupted into a fiery burst of experience points and smoke. Fun fact, this was actually my first time beating the game by myself. Usually I play with friends or just cheat my way into the end, but as this playthrough teaches us, anything is possible through perseverance. I also got the Ender Dragon egg, and pearled my way to the ancient city to enjoy my favorite mob sounds. After doing some looting and pillaring my way towards the end ship, I got hit with levitation and just decided to coast my way to the ladder. Once inside, I looted the potions and killed the shulker and was finally able to get a hold of a pair of elytra. I had never flown with Elytra on the console edition, so I went out to test it. But before I could leave, I got attacked by a rogue Enderman and died again, so I had to make my way back to the portal to get my stuff again. I returned and eluded the Enderman and tried really hard to not make eye contact. Once I had gone through the gate, it was as easy as stepping into the fountain portal. Finally obtaining the end achievement. On day 97, I crafted some fireworks rockets to get ready to fill out more of my map in the map room, but I discovered you can't hold them in your offhand, so that was lame. I want to take this time to complain about the Nintendo Switch's horrendous chunk loading. This is mostly due to the fact that Nintendo Switch only has about 4 GB of available RAM for the game, and is running a really old NVIDIA processor, so the game absolutely chugs along when going fast with Elytra or minecart, so I really don't bother. Even on Bedrock, it still sucks. After getting home, I was browsing the achievement menu to see which ones I could get, and after returning to the Nether, I had finally found my horse, which for some reason had traveled into the Nether without me. I also got the Stay in Frosty achievement by swimming in lava with the fire resistance potion enabled. I also took this time to fill out another chunk of the 3x3 map, although I ran out of durability before I could really make substantial coverage, so I had to fly my way all the way back home and gracefully land on the ground on day 98. Day 99, I journeyed back into the Nether to farm more Nether resources, wither skeletons and blazes and the like, also killed some ghast along the way, and continued to farm blazes in the blaze farm. Until finally, on day 100, after spending about 5 minutes hunting blazes, I finally got the Passing the Time achievement, which means I had completed my 100 days playthrough. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment about what you think I should have done different, and tell me whether I should continue this world, either in Legacy or converted to Bedrock and played on a more modern version. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay sour.